Hey everybody, Max here, and today going to be looking at the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Gladiator Mongrel figure from Sparrow Toys. This is my number two figure from this line that really caught my eye. I just did a video on Lexion. If you haven't seen that, check it out. But I really like the look of this guy. I've been aware of the Animal Warriors of the Kingdom line for a little while, and I think they're really good, and there's a lot of really positive reviews out there. So, and I like the anthropomorphic kind of characters like the turtles and the Usagi Yojimbo and stuff like that. I have several of these figures, newer, like the later waves, on pre-order from BBTS, but the Spiro Toys website is running a sale right now, so these figures are typically like 38 bucks plus shipping and handling, and I got this guy for $24.49. So I decided I would sample the two figures that I was really the most interested in, Lexion and Mongrel. Got those, and I gotta say I'm not disappointed in either one of them. They're very solid. They do live up to the hype. I really like the kind of the feline and the canine. There's not a lot of canines in the line yet. I've got Kanji the rabbit, and then there's actually there's two new ones. There's a fox and a hound, and they're like, I think they describe them kind of like Han and Chewie. So I wish I had gotten those on pre-order because now, due to the tariffs and everything, the prices are going up on practically everything. So these figures are normally like 36, 37. They're now like 40, 44 or some 42, something like that. But right now, off of the Spiro Toys website, if you were thinking about getting into the line, now's the time to get them off of the Sparrow Toys website. So as I'm filming this is March 26, 2025. I checked it today, this morning, and the prices are still the same. So you can still get this guy for $24.49 plus shipping. So check it out if you're interested. Here's the box. I do like boxes to blister cards, and pretty good artwork. They have a digital comic series, like about 5 issues, and they're running a sale on that now. I think the first issue's free, and then the others are about $2. They're normally like 3 or 4, so pretty good. So yeah, Gladiator Mongrel. You can pause the video and read the back there if you want, but that's the package. He comes with this really honking huge stone axe that, honestly, I think this might have been the thing that sold me on getting the figure. It just looks bad. It just looks like it would mess up your day. So he comes with that big thing, comes with this really awesome kukri style knife, short sword. It also kind of looks like a bottle opener, and it's don't try this at home. It is plastic, but it's very, very tough. You know, it's not flimsy or flexible, but it doesn't feel brittle. I'm sure if you whacked it, it'd probably break, but it's I think it is molded in brown plastic, so it's got a wooden handle and then really good silver paint, I gotta say. But it does look like a bottle opener. So but kind of a kukri style knife, and I gotta say it looks really, really cool. I really, really like it. And so he comes with those two weapons, and then he comes with 3 sets of hands. So he's got 2 open hands on right now. He comes with 2 fists, and they have the peg system with the rocker, and these wrists are a little stiff, but and if you watch my Lexion video, these are probably, most of this figure is the same parts as that figure as well. So there's a lot of reuse in this line, but through creative uses of colored plastic and paint, you don't really notice it that much. So yeah, 2 fists right and left. I probably would have liked a little gray wash in the fur there. That would have been cool. I might add that myself. And then open hands and in black. So there's that. So his hands and feet are black. And while the body is largely reused, you'll see this body, yes, with Lexion, but probably with a whole lot of others. Like I said, it doesn't really bother me a whole lot. Yes, that's kind of the name of the game. And for some action figure lines, classified, Marvel Legends, it is obvious that of all the reuse that's going on, but I don't know, something about this, it doesn't bother me as much with this particular line, because, well, they're animals and they're going to be furry, and the quality is just, it looks it's just there. So so you get this big honking axe, really like it, and looks like it is. He has used it in many an arena, and so some strapping on there, wooden handle, and then it's big stone thing here, and you multiple places where you can hold it. You can hold it here. There's a little knob in the middle, so you can hold it there as well, one-handed. And it does it. The butterfly and the joint system and everything. You can hold this thing very well. So that just keep that in mind. If you're on the fence, the shoulder armor is free floating and it comes off. You can pop the head off and take it off. This is molded. I'll be honest with it, it does kind of, it looks cool, but it does kind of get in the way. The arm guard, this upper arm piece is molded, sort of. There's a gap right there to kind of hide the pin, but it does not come off. So it is kind of molded. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe this piece is molded and then this is glued. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. But so the shoulder armor has, I guess that's a house crest, pretty cool. It's got some scratches on it, purple and dark blue. Looks really cool, and very good texture, leather texture to the strap all the way around. It does come off, and but starting with the head here, the head, I mean, yeah, that you know, this axe sold me, but I kind of want to call this guy Ed. Say hi, Ed. So yeah, mongrel is kind of just a generic term, but I'm going to call this guy Ed. So he looks like a hyena, and very well done in terms of the paint. I like the fact that the jaw is articulated. That is fantastic. It recesses very well. The upper teeth are always showing, the lower teeth. Paint's a little screwed up right there, but not, I mean, maybe I'll do a little wash on it. And but you know, he's a wild, kind of like a wild animal, so you know, hey, he can have messed up teeth. So, but I like displaying him with the open jaw and the red tongue and everything. The eyes are really cool. He's got this like one really open eye here, and then kind of a squinty. So he kind of has this kind of crazy look to him, and the eyes are just maybe a little bit crossed. So so he's kind of a wild and loose cannon kind of character, unpredictable. They even added he's got a little nick in his ear on both ears. So he's seen the battles in the gladiatorial arena, and he's survived. So so he's probably made him a little crazy. The neck articulation is a little bit limited because of all the molded fur. So yeah, so this piece here is probably glued on, and while it completes the look, he looks down very well, but you can't, because of this piece, you know, the fur coming out right there, because it looks great, you know, all kind of flows very well. I think I might whittle this down a little bit on the inside so that I get a little, or maybe just trim it, I don't know, and then repaint it, because you just can't get his neck to look up any higher than that. So there's that, and it's a ball joint, dumbbell joint in there, so it's not a disc hinge like on the Lexion figure. So and it kind of comes to about right there. So you can look down fairly far, and you can see in there a little bit. And then there's a hole for a backpack as well. I don't recall seeing that on Lexion, but it doesn't come with a backpack. Butterfly joint, very smooth, no armor to get in the way like on the Lexion figures, so you get a pretty good crossbody with this guy, and really good range of motion, like a Y pose. Now this, yeah, you can get it out of the way a little bit, and then so really good T-pose there. I would just be careful not to stretch this too much, but you can take it off if you want. Lots of posability options with this guy, lots of display options. So very good musculature, ab crunch, and there's a little bit of a wobble, which is sometimes you can run that risk, but this does not bother me. I've had worse and been okay with it, but it's there. And then pretty good waist swivel as well. And there's kind of a side to side, you know, there's probably a ball joint there, kind of like on a diaphragm, so you get a little more, it's not just static back and forth. You can kind of go forward a little bit. So he goes forward that far, and yeah, he kind of has, looks like he has a hunchback, and then he goes back that far. And the sculpt on the muscles does not go up any higher. Of course, you know, on a real person, it would, you know, skin would stretch, but that's as far as the musculature goes. Let's see. So he has pins, but it's very flush, and you don't see them. They're, because of the gray of the fur. Yeah, they're there when you look right at them, but they're not as crazy obvious as they might be on, say, a McFarlane DC Multiverse figure. So that's probably one of my bigger gripes with the DC Multiverse. But bicep swivel, pretty good. Really good range of motion on the elbows. The gauntlets are cool. One of these gauntlets Lexion comes with, but it's repainted purple and blue. And then this is new to this figure. It's probably used on a different figure, but pretty cool. Kind of a, again, gladiatory, looks like it's been used, dark blue. Hands have the, you know, pretty good rotation and the peg system, you know, the horizontal hinge and the vertical hinge and all that. I think all of these are, I think these are all vertical hinges. So, yep. But other than that, no, I'm sorry, horizontal hinges. And yeah, all of them are horizontal, no vertical. But yeah, really solid skirt piece, kind of a light blue, purple. The plastic is very malleable, flexible, a little thicker on this one than the Lexion figure, but it doesn't really get in the way. Let's see, this guy, no drop down hips, which I'm fine with. Pretty good splits. And then you can get, I don't think, yeah, there's just a little bit less range of motion just in the hip area. So he gets roughly 90 degrees, if that, and then double jointed. This one, the legs, the upper knee on the left leg is a little loose, but pretty good range of motion for back. Doesn't kick back very far. Does have a hip swivel, or a, has the ball system that we've seen on like Classified, Action Force, that sort of thing. Thigh cut, which I'm a big fan of. No boot cut, which is no big deal. I'm okay with that. Pretty good range of motion on the feet. There's no like ankle cut or anything like that, like on a McFarlane DC Multiverse. But the greaves are pretty good, spiked. We saw these on Lexion as well, just these are different colors, and black feet. And that is Mongrel. He's a really solid, or Ed. That is Ed. So my good friend Ed, I have to keep him caged up because he's just so dangerous. I feed him a couple of raw cats every now and then. There's a lot of cats in my neighborhood, so they just kind of wander around like they own the place. So yeah. So Ed goes out and he takes care of them for me. So all right, so that's Ed. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Are you a fan of AWOK? Do you have a bunch of these? Are you interested? Now may be a good time. This is the time that I chose. They are $24.49 on the Sparrow Toys website. I think it's like $9 in shipping, something like that. So, but yeah, now would be a good time to sample if you were on the fence and get the few that you are interested in. I picked the two that I like. You pick whatever you like. I might go back and get a few more, and we'll see. But yeah, this is a really, the hype is real. I'm gonna give this guy a warp factor of 9.5. Very solid figure. There's some heft to him. And I said this in the Lexion figure, or review, that I was surprised at how big they were. It says it's in the 112 scale range, but like this is the biggest classified is Gung Ho, the retro Gung Ho, and Mongrel here is bigger than him, just about. A bit broader than Gung Ho. And then here he is next to a, you know, the Nightfall Batman, and he's about the same size. So more in keeping with the like the 1/10 scale, maybe a little more like a 1/11 scale, but kind of a 6.5. But they're solid and they're beefy and they feel, you know, like good materials were used. So I'm really pleased with these figures. I've enjoyed posing them around and everything. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments section. I'm going to give this guy warp factor of 9.5 again, and feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks, guys. I have just passed 150 subscribers, and I really appreciate all of you who are willing to take a chance on my little channel. And thanks again. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you guys next time.